Hello everyone. I try not to start with too many funny faces because I never know when actually this video starts or when it is still in the process of sorting up. So I try not to start with too much content. So I see there's viewers away live. Hello, good evening everyone. I'm sitting here with my cup of tea, the lightest place of the house I could find. Have a great evening all of you. So today I want to talk with you about emotional availability and what does it actually mean. Let's talk about it because apparently it's an unknown phrase or thing to many. And I must say, yes, hello if you're there, please say hi, I like that. I love doing these live thingies because I'm with my kids all the week and I don't meet that many people, so it's really nice. I noticed yesterday that I just really like to connect with all of you in this way. So yes, I love drinking lots of tea. Yeah. Anyway, so if you have any questions or comments or things about emotional availability and considering that and relationships, please share them with me because yes, it's kind of a monologue because I'm doing the talking here. It's not a webinar. I like webinars, it's similar actually. But anyway, I'm probably doing the talking, but it doesn't mean that it's just me communicating. So please share your voice and talk with me. So the reason for this live, I really felt like doing it as kind of an impulsive thing, is that yesterday Elephant Journal, Elephant Journal, I really love that magazine. So I'm so proud that I published one of my articles and it's called, I'm so tired of attracting emotional, unavailable men. And it stirred up so much discussion and it brought so many questions, and I love that. I love that. There were so many questions like, okay, woman, so then what is it that you want from a man? What does make him emotionally available? Other questions about, okay, then what does it mean? And all of those things. And actually the funny thing is that I never thought about emotional availability. To put it differently, I didn't come up with the title. Those words were never in the original article. But then the editor used those words. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I actually kind of like it. I really like how they put it so strongly because that did stir up a lot of discussion. And it made people think, including me. So yes, my editor and my article made me think about, okay, then what is that? What is emotional availability? What is it not? And what is it then that I want from a man? So the first thing is that some people said this is quite negative, so saying that this man and your previous lovers were all emotionally unavailable. That's putting it quite strongly. And I was thinking about it, and to me, it's not about, it's not a label for the person. It's not like this man and all the men I was with are emotional unavailable, meaning they are not great people to be with, because that's not true. They are amazing, really amazing men, especially certainly this one is amazing. He's an amazing man. So this is definitely not saying that this is not a great man. What it says is that there is a disbalance, that there is a difference in our expectations and desires in this connection. And when I'm the one longing for more intimacy, closeness, whatever it is that I want, then the other is willing or able to give, then I will experience an unavailability. And that's what is happening. So it's because we have differences in what we want that we experience this connection in this way. So no, this is not about this man is not good, this man is not great. It's really about the balance. So sometimes I'm going to look at my piece of paper because I just wrote a few things down. I usually never do it. I'm really impulsive and just going for it. But because I was thinking about it, I just wrote a couple of things down. Yes, and of course there exist people who are just not emotionally available, because I wrote down the phrase emotional accessibility. Like how many of your emotions can you access, can you meet? Like my own emotions, how many of my own emotions can I meet? And then how many of my emotions can I like really meet, like really allow in the connection with the other person, in their presence? And of course there are many people, like so many of us were like raised with people telling us, don't cry, you are weak, you cannot show your anger, is bad to show your anger. I think many men heard that. Like you cannot show your anger to a woman, that's not good, that's not how you deal with women. So a lot of us have learned to suppress our emotions, and if we became really good at that, then our access, I shouldn't say access, that's something different. Our access to our accessibility to our own emotions can be like really difficult. And if it's really difficult to connect with your own emotions, then probably it's even more difficult to like connect with your emotions in the presence of another human being. So yes, then there might be emotional unavailability, you know, that could be there. That could definitely be there. It happens. It exists. Definitely. Especially for people like I said, who are raised in a family where it's totally not okay to show your emotions or just feel them, you know? Which is not the case for most of the people I've been with. Like they were in connection with their emotions, different levels, but that's definitely not what was the case here. Definitely not. So there's a difference between emotional availability and emotional accessibility, right? So what often happens in relationships, and this is like another topic, it's a huge topic that I love and I dove into really deeply, and I'll probably like write about it or make online products, but I don't know, but this is a huge topic. I just want to say this is a huge topic. I'm just gonna pinpoint it a little bit, which is attachment theory. It's like, how do we attach to people? And people who know me know that I talk about this a lot. How do we attach ourselves to people? And basically there's two ways. Like we feel very safe opening our hearts, connecting to other people, relating with others, letting them close, opening our hearts, opening everything, you know. People could feel very close doing that. Other people don't. And I guess most of us, if you're watching this right now, if you are interested in the topic of relationships, if you're interested why your relationships are often not working, why you feel afraid or trapped in relationships, then you're not safely attached. You're not securely attached. So that means you're insecurely attached, right? And when you're insecurely attached, there are two ways of dealing with that. It's like getting someone close and hold them really close, or taking distance. And some theories say you're either doing the one strategy or doing the other strategy. And I think you can use both. You probably have your preferred way of dealing with intimacy and the fear of being intimate with someone. But you can, like, it's like a skill that you can move on. Like if you feel, if you're like the person who really wants the other person close, you know, that those are the people who are like really afraid if you send them a message and they don't send a message back, that you get really nervous that you're like a terrible human being. You know, that's like the very short version of things. But that's I am like that. I'm totally like that. like they might just have a day off or just have a meeting or whatever, and they don't read my message, and especially when my WhatsApp would still say that they had been online. I switched that off. It's terrible. But I switched it off, yeah. Because I could see that they have been online and they haven't replied to my message. I would like get so nervous. That means that you want them close. It's just one of the examples of wanting someone close. So that's the anxious side of attachment. The other side is like when you have a person doing that to you, like sending you messages like, hey, I saw you were online and you didn't text me back. What's happening? Don't you love me anymore? That you're like, ooh, I need some distance now. Or, you know, anytime someone comes close, it's like literally taking a step back. So this is just a very short summary of a very rich and deep topic. So either you want someone very close, you always want a bit more, and the other person would be like, okay, I saw you last week, I really need some time on my own before I see you again. Often the person on one side of the dynamic attracts the person on the other side of the dynamic. And you might do a dance where you switch roles, but there'll always be a similar distance between you. And obviously, I'm still working my way through this dynamic towards being more secure. You can like work your way from either end to a more secure situation. I'm still working on that. I'm still learning. Obviously, I still attract people who are also in this process of learning to deal with this. Yes, with lovers, I can often be the one wanting someone close, especially if the other person is someone who needs a bit more distance. Then that creates that disbalance of feeling that the other person is not as available as you want them to be. Yeah. And yes, in this example, there were reasons enough why I wanted more closeness and he wanted more space. And that's what the article is about. Like, I totally understood with an open heart. I was like, yes, of course you need space. It's fine. Sure, take your space. And I was like, but shit. I want him to take all the space that he needs, but that's not what I need. I actually need a hug. I need to see you. I need to be held. I need to hold you. I need to be able to kiss and make love, and you need space. And that's not what I need right now. You know? And that doesn't mean that it's bad what he was doing, but it means that it's not what I need right now. So here the whole dynamic of, okay, what is it then that I need? How am I wired? What's my history? What do I want to work on? What do I want to challenge? And where do I have desires? Where are my desires? This is also like a very personal thing that I'm working on at the moment. Is like, I've realized that I'm really bad at expressing my desires. First of all with myself, and most of all with my lovers. I'm the first one to compromise. I'm always the one to follow. And I've learned over the last year, more or less, that that's the case. And that's not helping me. And because I want to break that pattern, I agreed with myself a year ago. Like, okay, I'm really going to speak up for myself. I'm really going to tune into what it is that I need, what I desire, what I want. And I'm not going to compromise too much on that. It's not that I don't respect the other person. It's not that it has to be my way or the highway. Not at all. But I'm not going to make myself small. And I realized somewhere over the last few weeks that that's exactly what I was doing. I was waiting. I was making myself small. And I felt like my inner feminine, my inner... we all have the feminine. This is tantric stuff, so this is a huge topic. As I said, this is all huge topics. Like, we all have an inner feminine and an inner masculine, and my inner masculine was like, yeah, now find out what it is that you need. And then my inner feminine was like, yeah, I want to be held, I want to open up, I want to be seen, I want to be loved. And she was feeling hurt. So then the inner masculine has to take care of the inner feminine and say, okay, maybe you should make a decision. Maybe this is not what you want, my dear. So basically that's my process in the moment, is to, okay, really manifest the connections that I want. And that means one of my teachers says, okay, if you want to manifest something, if you want to put something out there, the universe will test you. They will give you some partial matches. If you go like on a scale from 0 to 10, the universe will always give you a couple of 6s and 7s before it starts giving you the 8s and the 9s. And it's actually you don't have to explain it with the universe. You can actually just, when you want something, you're going to pay attention to it, you know? When you want to have kids, you see pregnant women everywhere, you know, some things like that. So if you want to have a beautiful relationship, you'll probably notice available or unavailable, depends on what your pattern is, optional possible partners. And do you settle for the first one that is available? Is like, oh yeah, I like you. Or do you have the guts and the courage to say, you're pretty good, but you're not quite what I really want. You know, you're not quite what I really, really want. And I have the courage to say thank you, this was beautiful, and I'm going to wait for the one that I really, really want. So that's what's happening. That's what I'm doing. Like, having the courage of saying, like, damn, you're a beautiful person, and damn, this hurts so much. And I'm lovingly letting you go because I love myself too much to stay here. I just love myself too much now. Right? And I would like really, from the bottom of my heart, this is like really touching me saying this to you now. Feel that. Where is the opening? Where do you feel it? Like really feel it. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your belly. Feel like, damn, this is what I gotta do. When I wrote that article, like actually both articles, I put links to both of them. Like the Dear Lover article, I wrote that 2 weeks ago, I guess. And this one I wrote a week ago or something. Maybe there was a little bit more in between. They're both directed at the same person. And I wrote both articles like in 10 minutes. It's just 10 minutes work, sending it out. And I could write them so quickly because it came from so deep in my belly. Like this is what I feel. This is who I am. And like, you know, that feeling that you get, that everything starts to vibrate and zzz, this is what I feel. And then, you know, then the fear comes, and then the doubt comes, and then, you know, voices come like, yeah, are you sure? But this was like really amazing man. Maybe you should just wait a little longer until he has more space for you. Maybe you should, maybe this was really stupid, girl. Maybe this was really stupid, and now you put it out there and everybody read it, now there's no way back. You know, those voices come. Those voices come. The voices are surrounding me all week. Really, believe me, all week. This is a nice week. Full moon coming, they say. Cheers. My throat. It's funny, my throat can sometimes like really start itching, like I can start coughing. But it's like something with the throat chakra, something with the communication, because it just comes and then it goes. So let me just let it happen. But yeah, the voices come and they tell me like, yeah, this might be the most stupid thing you ever did. You know, I also had it when I broke up with the father of my kids, like maybe this was the most stupid thing you ever did. You're going to lose your horses, you're going to lose the house, you're going to lose everything. Stupid woman. But then the belly is like, I have to do this. You know, I've worked so hard to love myself. I've worked so hard to get to know myself. I've worked so hard to be this authentic, this close, this whatever it is with myself. This intimate, actually that's it. This intimate with myself. I'm not going to throw that away for some doubting voice in my head that says that it's not good. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Gotta live my purpose, right? Gotta be real. Yeah. So that's the personal side of things. And what I also found really interesting is that I really don't want to like do gender stereotyping. I'm all about letting go of the gender and saying men are like this and women are like that. At the same time, I'm a scientist. I studied ecology of forests and trees and beasts in the forest, etc. But just looking at the responses, I posted the article in different groups, in different places, and the responses were really interesting. Like basically all the women said, I totally get this. I've been here. I feel you. Yes, thank you. And the men, there were also men saying that, but a lot of men were like, no idea what you're talking about. I don't know, what's this? Or having questions. Or we're like, hey, this is quite negative. Or, you know, there was a difference in the response. And I'm so interested in, hey, what's there? What's there? At the same time, I was talking about the attachment patterns and the anxious and the avoidant. And also this is, I know I'm stereotyping now, but just looking at it from like a scientific point of view, is like more women are anxiously attached. They're using the anxious strategy of pulling people close, of being afraid to be left, having a lot of fear in connecting. Men are more often like pushing away, taking distance. They say women want, in Tantra, they say women want depth want to experience depth in a connection. Men want to experience the broadness, but men also want freedom, or the masculine. Let's say different, because the masculine is something else than a man. The masculine is just our conscious, space-holding part, where the feminine is like the feeling and the emotions. So what did I want to say? Yeah, so men are more often avoidant, needing space. It's the masculine that wants freedom. Women are more anxious. So for both, there's fear in connecting in these parts. You know, this is not the secure people who have no trouble with connecting. This is about the insecure people. So more women are afraid of being abandoned, and more men are afraid of being caged and trapped and losing their freedom. So what's there, and I've been thinking about this for a couple of days, and I'm not sure. I mean, there can be like this evolutionary thing that women need a man to stick around to help them. You know, like in the past, we needed protection. Women who are pregnant or lactating, taking care of a little baby, they needed protection from dangerous animals or dangerous tribes or whatever. So there was more of a fear of being left behind. Whereas looking evolutionarily or biologically, like, you know, when it comes to reproduction, male human beings, their original strategy is to fertilize as many women as possible. So I can imagine that there is like encoded in our DNA that men need freedom to do that, and women need closeness to take care of themselves. You know, so maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know. Could be. Maybe it's the social thing. Like a lot of our stereotypical gender issues are just taught to us. Like that girls like pink and boys like blue. It's so interesting because some centuries ago in Europe it was the other way around. Like pink was for boys and blue was for girls. So a lot of those things are taught to us. So maybe that men need freedom is just something that we taught ourselves, you know, that we taught ourselves, that we kept telling ourselves that women want to, you know, that's been told, right? Women want to get married, put a ring on it, want to settle down, and women want safety, women want so much. And men want freedom, they'll go fuck their secretary. And, you know, it's also a lot of social conditioning. There's a lot of social conditioning, and maybe it's both, you know. So maybe there is in this whole emotional availability and a disbalance, it's just conditioning. And well, you know, the responses that women are like, yeah, I get it, and men are like, no, I don't get it. It's just social conditioning from a long time that brought us here, brought us in this situation. Yeah, it's a long story. But I'm not sure, so I'm really curious if there are opinions about it. So share them even after the video. Share them. I'll look through the comments some point. Maybe today, maybe later, and I can respond to your comments later on. So yeah, it's some of the things I wanted to share about it. So emotional availability. Actually, what is it? Did we talk about it? I think we didn't yet. For me, emotional availability is having a balance, having an equal balance in the desire that you have to share yourself. Boom. That's what it would be. Yes. A balance in how you want to share, considering the way, even the amounts of times that you want to meet, like how often do you call by phone? How often do you meet? Like me, for example, I like phone calls. I do. And I can do them for hours, but I need some physical meetings to complement them. Because I don't want to just talk with my lover. I don't just want to hear his voice. I want to be able to see him. And that's my feminine doesn't want to talk, wants to feel, wants to show, wants to just sit in front of him and be like, you know, radiate, show that, you know? And over the phone, it's just a bit more difficult. You know, you can do it like this, I can show it to you. And with a lover, I need some, you know, face to face, body to body to complement that. For me, personally, radical honesty is really important. Like really being able to express what's going on inside. That emotional accessibility I was talking about before, that's what I find really important in a lover, you know? Because I do a lot of coaching with people who are not, and I don't want to coach my lover. I don't want to be his coach. I want to be like equal, like be honest on a comparable part of our path, exploring similar things, maybe in different ways, and maybe different things as well. That's also okay. But to be like, to level somehow. And even when all of that is there, to have some common desires. And I noticed for me, there's a big thing is speaking truth in the sense of expressing what you want, sharing dreams. I love sharing dreams, like, hey, we should do this or that. Like I mentioned in the article, I mentioned that road trip. And I love sharing ideas. And I notice now that I don't like it when there's a lot of sharing about, okay, let's do this and that, and it never happens. You know, that's, for me, it's an important thing. I noticed, for me, that's an important thing. For other people, just dreaming might be enough. For me, it's like, I start losing trust if we're like, yeah, let's do this and that. Let's go for a walk soon. And I never go for the walk. To me, I don't like that. And that's a personal thing, you know, that's really a personal thing. But for me, it's important. So there should be for me, emotional availability also means that. To have some equal desires and equal, it's not like the same, you know, it doesn't have to be the same, but just to level somehow. Yeah. And I'm really curious, because for me this is also new territory, to really figure out what is it that I really desire in a lover, and what I really want to explore. And that's basically what the article is about. Like, okay, I'm not gonna compromise that much anymore. So that's basically what, for me, emotional availability means. Emotional accessibility, radical honesty, some common desires of how to show ourselves, how to meet together. Yeah, that would be it. So I feel there's a silence coming into my mind and silence coming into my body, which means that the stream of words is going to... That's how I usually work. I'll just switch something on, talk, have no idea where I start, where I end, and at some point it's like coming down. That's where I am now. So unless there are some urgent questions, I'm going to continue with the rest of my night. Probably doing some taxes, because I have been postponing that for a little bit. Or just relax for a bit. I might just do that. And speak to you soon. Yes, please feel free to share if you have questions or comments, because I know many people will only watch this later when it's not live, but afterwards feel free to write whatever you want to write in the comments, and I'll read over it at some point. So I wish you a very beautiful rest of your night, rest of your day, if you're watching this a different time or a different time zone, and see you live or virtually. Bye bye.